Okay, so equations of line, super important thing to know how to do in the test. There's always going to be some sort of question that asks you to find normally a parallel or perpendicular line, and it varies based on what they're going to ask you. So things to remember. All right, number one, I've changed how I did this the last few years, so I don't think that it's on the top here, but I use this equation now for everything. All right, it's the point slope equation. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And then your job is to plug in the x and y value from a point on your line, all right, and then the slope. Okay, and you may have to find the slope. All right, you may have to find the point on the line, but that's what we're looking for. All right, so any point on the line plus the slope. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. All right. This way that it describes here is using graph and rise over run. It's the way I used to do it, and it works fine. All right, but this is just more straightforward. And actually, a lot of times you can just stop at that point. You don't have to play around with it. So that's the way we do it now. All right. So this that I've got right here, I'm actually going to walk through how to do it. I'm going to walk through how to do it the way that I show people how to do it now. All right. So a much, much better way. So number one, I need a point on the line. All right, well, it says it passes through for -1. And it almost always says passes through something. All right, so that's what I'm looking for. Then it's almost definitely going to give me an equation of a line that I'm supposed to compare this line to. So it says parallel to a line with equation that. So remember, parallel means the same slope. Okay, and then the slope is the number in front of the x, always the number in front of the x. This one says 1 over 1, so that means the parallel slope is 1 over 1. So then I take my equation, y minus y1 m times x minus x1, and I get y minus 1 equals 1 over 1 times x minus 1. Now, if it just says write the equation on the line, I'm done. There's nothing else to do. Okay, if it's multiple choice or something and maybe it says y equals and all the answers, then I don't have to play around with this and figure out, oh, and I also wrote 1 instead of 4. Okay, hang on. Let's back up here because I did not do that right. Y minus -1 and then x minus 4. I was using the slope for my point instead of what I'm supposed to. All right, so then I have a double negative here. So it's y plus 1 equals 1 over 1 times x minus 4. There's the correct equation, all right? So I've got that right there, all right, to go through and do that. Now let me say what I was saying again. If it just says write the equation of a line, I'm done. I leave it just like that. It doesn't have to be in any specific form. If it's multiple choice questions and they're all solved for y, I have to do some algebra, solve this for y. Shouldn't be that big of a deal, okay? And if it happens to say in slope intercept form, that means I have to solve it for y also. So the worst thing I might have to do with these is solve it for y, but I don't have to draw a graph. I don't have to worry about, well, what happens if it doesn't hit a hole. I don't do any of that stuff. This is the best way to do it, all right? And it results in the least work almost every single time.